So we will begin the meeting of the Village of North Bennington Board of Trustees for Tuesday, September 12, 2017. First item on the agenda, review and approve minutes of August 8 and the August 9 meeting.
I will make a motion to approve the August 8 meeting.
I'll second that.
Any discussion, corrections, anything? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
That's right, you were gone. August 9.
I'll also make a motion to approve the August 9 meeting.
Second that?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Abstain. Next is the warrant.
Which one you want, payroll or?
Let's start with payroll.
So I assume that's increased quite a bit, mainly due to our intern? Is that correct? It just seemed a little higher than what
You
normally.
could probably, he worked for a month, almost 37 hours a week.
But I also have,
I saw you.
yeah, I also have the last week of the month that goes through up until the next,
Yep.
meeting.
Okay.
So it's like a 6-week period.
Yes,
altogether.
yes. And the other thing is that I didn't get a chance to get it in on time, or get it to Lori on time. But Max now just has starting the pay that he'll get on Friday, has only 8 hours a week. So that's a net, a gross paycheck of $80.
Okay.
So we'll give him those paychecks, and then next month you'll see them on this for the
Gotcha.
advance as well.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the payroll warrant for $9,200.92.
Second it?
Seems like we've had discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
And the village warrant.
I just had, so I assume the Bowman paving, the Matt Morris and Tatro are all related to the Main Street paving?
No.
No, okay.
Bowman paving is more like the Church Street, and,
Oh, okay, yep.
and it should be,
Side.
hopefully the water department side's not incorporated with our side. So I haven't seen that slip.
Do you know what we were supposed to pay for our part of it?
Pretty close.
It's 20.
It's 20,000 on
Here's
that.
right
Yeah.
here.
So that is, so that's ours,
That's
so,
our,
Yeah.
then how about the Matt Morris
then
and
there's
Tatro?
some that the school.
You're gonna build a school something too, right?
Right, schools, this a little bit, and, Matt Morris was excavation for the 2 sidewalks, and Tetro Concrete was probably the one, I think the other sidewalk got paid for last
It
month.
did.
Yeah,
So Matt Morse's was equipment rental.
Yes,
yeah.
Okay.
I need to get a
Now-
cop picture of that too.
So does any of the, so the Tatro, does any of this for the project we just finished?
Main
on Main
Street,
Street?
yes.
So that is the Tatro, right? And is that
Yes.
so is that,
That's ours.
that's
That's
our
ours.
hours, and then there's a shared cost that's separate and he's taking?
It's not shared.
Or
They,
no?
they split it. We've done ours. He's
So
doing
this is
his.
all-
Right,
Okay.
yes, this is all, yes,
Okay,
yes. There's a little bit of, some back billing for the excavator rental, a little bit of stone the first day.
all right, but all,
We still gotta catch up on it.
but everything that's on our warrant is our,
Yes.
is our responsibility, okay.
But is there any of that, Bowden that needs to be, you said something about being rebuilt, that's
Oh.
not being shared?
There's, you'll have to talk to Norm about the component of, that we agreed, the school agreed to do, to pay a small portion of a widening that's on school property,
Okay.
connected to the road.
It's down off the
So
playground.
we'll have to
What's
look
that?
and see whether
How
that
much did you think that was?
delineates that.
What's,
The school's component on the paving.
oh, it's like $1,000, it's
Yeah.
not a lot.
Okay.
It's even smaller than that.
Yeah. He said it'd be less than 1,000, 600, 800, something. I said, fine, let's,
So Norm, we could just look at that bill and we'll come up with a,
Yes, we'll just write this.
yeah, I have a copy of it. just-
So we're just gonna write down a slip and look.
Yeah, we don't even need that bill. Well, I need that bill just for the tonnage
Yeah.
and,
Square
the
feet.
estimated, the price for the tonnage, cause the job was tonnage in place, so then it's just length times width, times an inch, cause that's what it is, it might be an inch and a quarter or whatever, but, you know, we're gonna bill an inch, length times width,
Yeah.
and there's the bill, and
Okay.
I think we'll be in a real close neighborhood.
What's the IRS payment? I know I probably asked you that before.
That is the tax withholdings
For payroll?
for payroll taxes. Yes, it's the employees' withholdings plus the employer.
When did those get rolled under the payroll budget?
They do,
Okay.
yes.
I just wasn't expecting, I thought that's
Yes,
what they.
because you see only the net on the payroll warrant, but the gross actually goes in when we look at the, where we are in total compared to budget and stuff.
Okay, but eventually they'll roll into the annual.
Yes, it
report.
does.
Okay, thank you.
There are two checks here that are annual allocations, the Vermont Art Exchange and the BCRC. So they're just a one-time thing. And then, wait a minute, we got late breaking news. We have a bill here for mowing of the field that I believe we just got these in, so can I hand these to you? And
You
you
did.
can see whether,
Just got these in.
Yeah,
yes, we just got those. So see whether those need to be paid in advance of the next meeting.
So this is for,
yeah, I'd like to pay.
There's a small one right behind it too, there's two of those.
What about this one?
I don't think that one has to be, does that one have to be paid?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
should be, 'cause we got some more stuff.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, so what-
1,200. So you're,
That one was in my truck.
There's another one that needs to be.
I forgot to give Barry the pink one, the white one I just got, but that's Sam for his whole year.
all right, so the
More than
Bennington
half.
tire, do you want these all? Bennington tire for 252.
So, I'm just gonna make a note here.
Yeah,
Yep.
plus we have to add.
Anybody got a hard
What
copy?
I will do is I will
That
resend
printer wasn't working.
the hard copy.
$252.
Yep.
Okay.
And then
And then
150.
Mowing, we have one bill for 150, it's mowing of,
No.
What is the name?
1200 is the mowing.
yeah, there's one here for mowing too, for 150.
Yeah, but that's moving the goalposts.
What's the name of the company?
Moving stuff out of the way, I guess, in order to,
You know what, if we're adding in
Gotta get off his
three,
machine, that wasn't the bill when he,
if we're adding in three, let's add in one more. There's one more person, we have one more,
you want him smashed?
don't want to hit them.
bond that was paid.
You have another one?
Yeah.
The rent.
That's cheap.
We're not gonna not pay it.
It's due to be paid back to them middle, like next week, so we might as well.
Oh, Jenny Wren,
So-
for the,
So-
uh,
Yeah, so I
are
can
we
either
moving the
pay
goal
for
until
weeks
It's
or
tomorrow?
1350 tomorrow.
Or now.
Yeah, it's
So
150.
I could just
Well, it's two
add
separate
it
bills, so
into
you
it.
gotta.
Almost there, so I got,
So
what's the
add
landscaping?
$1,200 for mowing the field.
Landscaping is 1,200 and moving the goal is
It's
to
150.
150?
really part
And
of
the
it.
252
You
is
could just-
Bennington tire, right, so the.
And
And
then,
we're gonna add another 1,000, we're gonna add another 1,000 for Wren's repay their bond.
What is it?
they pay,
Repay
when they
loan.
connected to water to the house on Mechanic Street.
So, what is it, Ren's?
WREN.
That's the name of the fan.
Is that the one for Jerome Construction?
No, we already paid you.
And is that money coming in or going, it's going out?
It's going out, yes, it's just
Okay.
been held, in a bond fund. But the work has been significantly completed, or long completed.
Okay, so I'm gonna add to the main, 252, 1,200, 150, and 1,000.
Correct.
Correct? All right.
Well, the road's not collapsing where they dug the line. All right, so what's your total? You're working on that.
Yeah. Okay. I get 58, 236, 48.
I'll
That's
entertain,
what I got.
I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the September 12th, 2017 warrant in the amount of $58,236.48.
Second.
All those in favor?
There's the signing copy.
Mhm.
I'll send this out so you guys have a clean copy.
anything?
I haven't gotten the text yet.
Big picture.
That's right.
I get it.
Have you?
No.
Did we pass a copy of this already?
No.
Okay. Well, here, you can start it down there.
Do you want to?
He starts falling down more often.
Yeah.
He fell on his high chair right on the kitchen floor just before I left. I think I almost broke my knee trying to catch him. He just bounced up.
Did you send it?
My daughter.
You want that?
Oh, you want that one?
Sign that.
Okay. Oh, what's next here? Not that. Citizen comments. There are none. Citizens, that is. Treasurer's report.
Okay. Most importantly, the tax bills are going to be programmed this Friday. They will all be in the mail by Saturday. We have 26,000 that is still due, delinquent on prior year taxes. That includes village plus school altogether. Most of those have payment plans. Some of them are somewhat extended plans. 2 of them are bankruptcies, so they take a little bit longer. One is facing legal action, and that is with the attorney, and we will proceed with that if we have no response coming up.
Okay.
We will, the taxes are again going to be due on the 10th of November, the typical day. I'll have a number of days and hours that I'll be open here so people can come in. Put a big sign out on the boards, as well as at post office and things. As well, we put a notice in the paper so that people know that that's coming up. We are not going to do the online payment through credit card. We had 2 people that elected to do it last year. I get no reports because we're too small, and it is an absolute nightmare to know if somebody does pay, who pays, unless they so kindly tell me. So
Right.
we're not going to do that this year.
Okay.
But we'll see. Clearly, we are to a point now where the cash flow is down significantly, as we would expect at this point in time. But that's, we'll still have about $50,000 to go in through September before the next revenue starts to come in. Not a lot, but gets our bills paid. And then the only other thing that I guess Norm will talk about is we'll have to take some action on going out to bid for the piece of equipment on the grant that we were awarded. And that needs to be done and in place by 1st of December.
Okay. Is that it, Mary?
That's it.
Any questions for Mary? I guess we can move on to highway and discuss that and other issues.
Well, we can start with, this month we did, finished up our last of our sidewalk project. We paved, Church Street, got it repainted again, put a couple new school zone signs that we've had for a little while out there, so, that should be a big positive plus for anyone that lives in that neighborhood or travels on that road. So that should be pretty good. Main Street, again, as you can walk down the lower section of Main Street, we dug up that bad piece of sidewalk and redid that. We did another little piece of sidewalk the month prior across the street from the church. I know that the woman who maintains or runs some of that, she came out and they were very happy with what went on there. So those two pieces look pretty good, so we're pretty much wound down with any big projects. We certainly still have a list of things that we probably should do, but we're pretty much to where what we have done. Spent this earlier this part of the week on Park Street, got it all graded up, it's been chlorided, so hopefully the homeowners won't have to deal with so much dust and potholes, and we'll hope for the best. I'm sure we'll be back on it, grading it before the end of the year, whether we decide to chloride it or not. I don't know, because that's $1,000 to do that. So it's pretty expensive. We pretty much got that done. Had a couple breakdowns. Our big truck lost a transmission module. I think that was $800 or Delirious bill was in there. It was pretty expensive. Not under warranty. The warranty for the big truck runs out on the 17th of this month. They had to put another oil pan on it. Like, we got that covered. So we got some hydraulic leaks that we've got to fix. We're gonna go out on Church Street and do the gravel on the sides of the road tomorrow, but there's a couple pipes that we gotta address. So, you know, it's getting ready to start winter maintenance. It's a little earlier than I wanted to, but tomorrow's gonna be the day we're gonna get them done. So, other than that, with the roads, that's pretty much about it. The end of the month, or the first week in October, we'll start leaf welfare. And that will run till the first week in November on Mondays and Tuesdays. We might trade up the day. I'll let you know next meeting into Wednesday, because that's the day that Max works, so it will be a little bit easier for us. But we still have the 16 acres of parks that we got to deal with to take care of. So we might just stay with Mondays and Tuesdays. School started. Hopefully that program will start with the CDC Center. They need a couple weeks to get that up and going, and hopefully we can go back to that again. So, other than that, pretty much we're just go around, fix a few things, kind of hold our own, and then start in the leaves, which is a pretty big deal. As we can tell, they're already starting to change. It's earlier this year than last year, but last year was way late, so it's probably just Mother Nature getting herself back on track. So, anybody got any questions about that?
Well, Park Street looks great, the sidewalks look fantastic. And, I mean, Park Street, because of the grading.
Oh, I didn't see that yet.
Go check that out. They rolled it. He worked it for 2 days with the grader, and then they rolled it, and then chlorided it. And then we realized as we sat there talking that the new water line's gonna come in and go right down the center of the road probably. Starting this fall, apparently.
Right, but you know, I mean, the road needed it.
No, it did need it. We can't.
You know.
But we were talking, about the fact that used to get done twice a year. Now we have the flexibility of doing it more often because we have the grader. How's the gravel load there? Do you feel like?
I think it needs there's a considerable places that needed gravel. I mean, we spent a lot of time trying to get a grant last year for the lower section that we didn't get. I mean, that whole thing needs to probably come up 5 or 6 inches. Next year will probably be a pretty big gravel year on that road, for the simple fact that if the state goes as they plan, they're going to be paving and grinding Water Street, so that road will get some more increased use. And that certainly needs to be brought to the attention of the contractor that is doing the water line. So those two projects kind of work hand in hand, and maybe that's one of the reasons they decided to do some work on Park Street this year. I'm not really sure,
Maybe.
but I know that Matthew and myself are supposed to be invited to a meeting here pretty shortly with Otter Creek, the contractor, and us, and hopefully one of us will remember to talk about that, because they can't have that road blasted apart while the other one is. And if it is, I guess we're just gonna have to deal with it.
When they come up Prospect Street.
Yeah. But hopefully we can maintain it. And, Ron Pembroke's nice enough to let us leave our grader down there, so we had to even do it once a week, just touch it up. During the high traffic, we could probably do that. So that being said, we're pretty much there. Now, during this course of the month, we talked about, we got a couple things on the fire. We had a truck that needs to be replaced, and then we have our backhoe that was on the docket to get done soon enough. And we went to a Vermont Clean Diesel Program grant. Mary and myself took a ride up there, and talking to the lady today, and it's one of the reasons we actually we turned from 21 to 25%, is because we actually cared enough to go there. So we went up there to do a replacement on a diesel vehicle that fits a bunch of different categories. They'll pay you 25% on your purchase of a new light piece of equipment. We really went up there for the 1 ton that needs to be replaced. That doesn't qualify because it's not heavy enough. So then it fall back into, geez, what else is there? And we took a chance and we filled out an application and did everything, and we actually got approved. So what they will do is pay 25% of the total acquisition fee to replace our backhoe. So, I mean, when we look at our backhoe, we're about ready to, needs a couple doors, we've seen that, needs front tires. You know, there's probably $4,000 or $5,000 worth of work that it needs in there now. We had an electric valve that rotted out underneath, and there's a big pump that's kind of really punky. But we had to buy the valve because we couldn't use it, because it locked everything up, so it was useless, and you could only drive it. So we kind of held off on maintenance on that. So we've been lucky enough to be awarded it, and so now we have to sit down and say, we're either trudging forward or we're not. The consequences if we're not, we're probably getting an extra $20,000 to $22,000 worth of value out of our old one, just to get rid of it, than we will if next time in this year.
How that works to understand it is when we accept the money, we have to destroy the engine on that backhoe.
Knock a hole in the block, we have to cut the frame ring on that.
Cut the what?
The frame ring head.
Okay. So it becomes a parts machine that
That's
at
right.
some point we can part out.
The next day.
Okay.
After
there's-
the year or after we get the grant?
No, after we get the grant.
Okay.
And there's value in that, you think, to the tune of
Yes.
8 or 10 grand maybe?
Yeah, maybe, I think that's on the high side.
Okay. But on top of that, what they're offering us is up to $34,000. That would be, if we were to max out the 25%, we'd be looking at $25,000 unit. That's, the retail price on those 420s is about that, from what I could see. And I don't know, there is no such heavy equipment like that on the bid
There's
side.
not, I spoke to them
Yeah,
today.
In addition to that, we have a reserve fund of 23,000 on that right now, so that puts us at 57. And then you think about what we recoup on that, let's
And we
say,
normally have added 4,500 to that reserve. That's in this fiscal year. So you could choose to put that.
right, you could use that too, yep. And so you're looking at, we don't know, we're gonna go, hopefully, we're still on for Thursday?
No, they're actually gonna send one to us next week.
They're gonna send one?
They're gonna send one.
Okay, that's nice.
It's even better.
There are different models of that, there's 4 different horsepowers and different this and that, so I don't know what your thoughts are on all that.
But we have to stay within 25 horse of the machine that we have.
Oh, okay.
So there's some parameters, you just can't, go willy-nilly and, trade in the Volvo, and,
Right.
and buy the Lexus, you gotta stay in your same realm. And that's why they do that, so you're not jumping all over the place.
Right,
And the award will be the lesser of
yes.
25% of the new one or
Yep.
25% of
Yeah, I don't-
the bid. So
I don't have
If we get something more expensive, we won't, it's not.
I don't have a stomach for getting something more expensive. I think, you maximize that value of the 25, but you're not gonna go and add on top of that something. So we're gonna see what we can get for that,
And then the good news
or
is,
less.
I mean, most of us will be in wheelchairs by the time we need to, replace it again. Gosh, Carol will be in college. Think of that.
Yeah.
Well, that depends how we, how we start funding these sinking funds forward and making sure that we have
But I
that.
mean, it will last that darn long.
It should be a trouble-free machine mostly for 10 years and
If not longer.
And then if it seems to be the peak value for, where we start rotating things, instead of waiting until they're not worth anything.
I have a comment on that
Yep.
part of it, which is that I think since we've made an investment last year in a really nice piece of machinery, and we're looking to do that again this year, that we really need to look at storage for them too, because I would very strongly object to that machinery being near the salt shed this winter, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's where the backhoe
Yeah, that's where it'll have to stay.
had the former one was parked in the salt shed.
Yeah, the new one will be sitting right in that same spot.
What is the,
Is there an
I know there's been discussion of that there could potentially be a roof put on the left side of the,
Well, there could certainly be additions on both sides of our building. I
Okay.
don't know if we're really ready to
to
hit that.
I don't know if we are or not, but I'm just, I want that to start getting into the conversation.
No, John, I think you're hitting it right on the money. I mean, we talked about that for years, is if we could put, 2 shed additions on both sides of our building, okay? And we're talking about our core value, our core equipment, right? This is the stuff that we have to have every day to go. This is not the sweeper, the sucker, which is, again, the sucker should probably be inside. The thing's a crazy expensive piece of equipment that we got nothing into. But just our core equipment, we could get, the backhoe, the truck, our backhoe and our big dump truck could go in the garage that we have right now. And then in the side sheds, we could put our 1-tons with the sanders and stuff in them. And, I mean, yeah, it definitely doesn't, just sitting in that environment, it certainly doesn't help it.
No, that's very corrosive for something new like that. I mean, again, paint, iron doesn't, rust is not the enemy that you think it is from the farmer's perspective when it comes to chunks of iron, but door panels and, the things that do go out. I fully agree. I think if we're gonna end up spending that kind of money, we gotta look into also taking care of. And I'm not sure that at least one wing off the side of that building that we discussed, or upgrading the one on the right, would be that expensive.
No, I don't think it would be crazy. I mean, we're not looking at a building that we have to have,
Does that to be
heat in it like we normally do. I mean, we got windows right there. Our furnace in our building it's just a trailer furnace. Neil's been keeping it running for years. I mean, I'm sure we could do better in efficiency and just how we deal with our heat. So maybe that could get moved out into that other room, and then a main one in our shop that we use, and when we're working on something, we just bring it inside the original 2-bay building that we had. I mean, just cold storage would make a huge difference. Needs to be warm enough to melt the snow off of it. When we come in, and there's these multiple day snowstorms, and I don't care what municipality you work for. I mean, the crud, we all drive cars in the snow, right? We know what it's like. You come in the morning and you got to deal with something. You need the snow melted off. Sometimes our backhoe has to come inside because it's just that kind of storm, and I can't not trust that it not work. I mean, just as the hydraulics and the oils, it's all cold. It's not happy for it.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to look at an energy grant for a new efficient furnace, hot air furnace. Well, so those are things to think about. It doesn't look like we're buying this thing tomorrow. I don't know how long it takes for that money to be released, but are we talking November?
Money's October 1st. October 1, we won't be ready for that, but boy, we'll be close. So it would come to, there'd be a grant agreement, had to be signed, so I'm sure, you know. the
They
board-
said they're gonna be sending us more materials on that.
The board will have to look it over. We'll be all set there, so we get the grant agreement. Then, you know, by the time we demo one, I spoke with the John Deere guy today. Then the cat guy, we've emailed, but I haven't spoke with him, but I'll get him to send a demo machine, and then we'll see the pluses and minuses, get a chance to look at it. I mean, again, backing myself, we're not small guys, you know, it's one of the reasons the Whacker's got a bigger cab than that green lizard thing that we looked at. You know, so we gotta see how we fit in it. The cat, if we're keeping a machine to use maybe a trinket here or there off of it, you know, the cat versus the cat at work, then switching brains, but, you know, it's all gonna come down to bid and, you know, see what's got things that we want.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I've told them both that I'd be more than happy to buy a demo machine, as long as it hit the year that.
Is
so
it
we can get
16 or
it.
17 we have to
Has to
do?
be 17.
Has to be 17.
But they're out there,
So
they've been out
they're
there for a year,
Yeah. Okay,
so.
well, we'll touch on this issue again then, next month, for sure, we'll be ready to.
I think we'll be touching
Well,
on
we'll
this
sign it,
issue.
we'll sign the stuff before then, and we'll have
I
to,
think we'll be touching on this issue way before that. You know, we only need one board member to sign the grant agreement. So,
we pass the bids around for everybody to see.
so that'll come, but then we gotta deal with the pickup, whether we're gonna do something or we're not gonna do something. And then,
Then does it make sense to extend this meeting then?
Well, we could certainly extend this meeting to, you know, from 2 weeks from now or something.
Yeah, we were gonna have to discuss bids anyway, right?
Yeah.
yes.
We probably won't have bids in 2 weeks.
No, we won't have bids in 2 weeks, but I think it would be a good time to
sit
extend the
down
meeting
and
for
for
2
you-
weeks. And each of you take a couple minutes to come up to the garage and we can look at a few different things and so I can show you so we can talk about the whole picture. Because there, you know, it is the whole picture, but there's multiple things in
Yeah,
the same game, you know?
Is there any-
Articulating thumbs and buttons and all the different,
No, I'm talking about, forget about that, I'm talking about the truck.
oh, the truck issue,
You
yeah.
know, we've tried, looked at a couple of used ones, you know, that think would fit our needs, but nobody seems to want to return a phone call.
You know, he did just acquire another truck that's a lot like our other big truck. That he's pretty happy, as he's gotten into it and looked at it, he's pretty happy with. He's able to swap some tires off another thing that he's gonna make. And the battery swaps and everything, but this is a vehicle that costs $700 and it's worth,
20.
yeah. So that's gonna be, at least this year, a truck that we can use. It's gonna get us, you know, we don't have the best plow for it,
No, we don't. But we got,
but you can put a
again,
sander
just,
on it.
remember, we gotta get to leaf season, and that's that little truck, you know?
Right.
So we gotta, I want you to come up, I want you to look at it, and I've got some figures, you know, there's a few things that we really, if we're gonna extend that truck to the winter, which I think we'll make a winter, but we're gonna have to put some money into it, and it's not $5. We're gonna have to put some serious money into it.
Oil pan.
And oil pan on a diesel is crazy money. So that being said, now we go to our next one, is our FEMA problem with the river that flooded and on the 4th of July weekend. And the paperwork is at the last stage with Chris at the state to go out. Now, I honestly don't know, he probably told me, I don't know if FEMA is at 10% or what it is, but I do know it's upfront. And then it's all reimbursed back. I don't think it's as quick. The backhoe grant, the lady said 2 weeks turnaround. You submit the bill, everything's signed, 2 weeks, you get your check back, so it's not a big deal. But the FEMA thing, I don't know, never had to deal with them.
Something we would still do this fall?
We have to do it within 180 days of the event, so it's gotta be done.
This is to catch the water coming off up near where Pembroke's is.
Yeah, that's correct.
And then into the, catch it in the culvert and send it out into.
Repairing the culvert that's got a hole in it,
Okay.
and changing the grade up above, right, and
Yep.
so that the rubble gets
Now
down.
you can see, we left a screen there.
Yeah.
We put the old screen, and you can, that's filled. We're gonna have to get down there before Friday, because I think it's gonna rain this weekend. Or like, there was one day earlier, it was in the rain, I mean, that thing's full to the ground level now. And that was, I don't know, maybe a foot,
Put your boots
foot and a
on.
half lower, you know, so that, there's still significant problems coming there, so we're moving forward with that. And last but not least, dear to your heart, John, the roof on this building.
Can I go back to the FEMA thing? Do we have
Yes.
quotes to do that work?
No, we have the state engineer drew a plan, was happy with Josh, the river and stream guy.
Carter Hall?
Yes,
Okay, yeah.
and, came up with a good idea to fix it, you know, I looked at it, I'm happy, he's an engineer, we're golden, we didn't have to pay anything for it.
Great.
It's a pretty simple fix. Did the paperwork for us, it approved it through his office, which, you know, he helped draft the fix, so it's not gonna be not approved through there.
Great.
And now it's to the last part of the FEMA. We had a, right away, little issue, but that actually resolved its own self years and years ago, and they had a problem with that same culvert.
Okay.
With the Omen property, and the actual owner said, you don't need one for me, you already got it. And so we dug it up and we found it.
Great.
I didn't know
Well, our
that.
lawyer dug it up and found it. And turned it in, so that's coming, but that's gonna have to go out quick, advertise. Again, 3
Give us a
bidders.
sense of what kind of money we're talking about? Any guesses or no?
No,
Is this like 5
probably
grand or 50 grand?
I mean, 50 would be crazy. I think,
20.
20, 25, yeah.
Okay.
It's not a big deal,
Okay.
but there is.
But it's up front. So, but taxes are coming in now, I mean, that's not,
So we have
We're
to
gonna-
say this for like late November, early December
Well,
or something?
we have to slate it as soon as we can because of just the construction season, and 2, if we go outside that 180-day window, we might be able to get approval to do work next year. But remember, you see all that rocks coming down into that culvert.
I'd like to get it done.
Having this thing
Yeah,
plugged
we
in.
should get it done. Do we need to, we don't need to explore, sources for funding for this?
No, because so tax money for next year is already coming in, so
And we should get our next round of, state money for the highways too,
right.
so there'll be some there.
Okay, so now, sorry, I took you back. The roof?
I don't know, I don't mean to put John on the spot, because I know he's caught up in this bureaucratic churning machine. So I don't know, do you have any more information than?
We have the grant money, it's approved, but it needs to be put out to bid. And the people that prepare the bid documents are the BCRC.
Okay.
And Jim Sullivan has done that, and but they need to be approved by V-Trans.
Okay.
And so they are going back and forth a little bit, and they're being very
Diligent?
well. They're graciously copying me on their emails back and forth, which they don't need to do, but they're doing it just to let me know how it's going. And it's not a straightforward bid process because we lease the building and because it's on the railway. So there's a bunch of stuff that needs to be in there, and it's expense of a historic building, of course.
The insurance stuff, I suppose, is still.
So this is, Jim is making sure that everything is in that document. The date that's on there as a sort of a working date is October 20th.
For starting the work?
No, for bids to be in.
Okay.
But he doesn't, that is not a certainty. you know, if, you know, we're hoping, I'm hoping, you know, to get that done as quickly as we can. It seems like it's making progress really fast. You know, he sent it to V-Trans, they sent it back within a week, and then he sent it again, and they, you know, sent him back some feedback too, but there were several items that needed to be added on.
And not anybody can do this work. It's because of the insurance.
That's the deal. That shouldn't be a huge hangup, because with one of our vendors that does work for us all the time, he called, well, Will's, I don't know, Richard's group now, or whatever it is, but anyways, it was like $400 for that rider to get.
Put that rider on while.
To hit that number, so.
3 million or
So
whatever.
I don't think it'll be crazy for, you know, and that's his policy, you know what I mean? And it's a small guy, so.
Good.
I don't think it'd be crazy, but what I think it does, as soon as you say, well, you have railroad insurance, people go, oh my God, man, you
Yeah.
know.
But I was
Just walk away.
informed by, I don't know if it was Jim Henderson or another person, that I thought in some cases you have to have multiple bids and stuff like that, but I think it's as long as we get one that is legitimate and has, you know, is a vetted company or whatever, then that's fine. So if we can get somebody to bid on it.
And meets the grant, meets the,
And we can
And we can
accept
afford
it, yeah, exactly.
Can I ask you two questions? One question is, as I recall, it was like we need like 130 or 140,000, and they come up with 75%, is that right? Am I even remembering that grant correctly?
I can
it's 80.
say.
80%?
The original one was an 80%,
Okay, and the cost to do it was 100 and something thousand.
130, I thought.
So if we have in the depot renovation fund 32, we're in the ballpark of having this funded already. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think
At
so.
least half of it, yeah.
Okay.
Of the percentage that we.
That we have to match.
Yeah. No, I think that's what we're kind of looking at that.
I think that was our share, was something 30 to 40 or something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure we have the money, because obviously we're going to need to move fast. And if we're in the ballpark already, then.
Any chance we've got an insurance claim on that damage?
I never called the insurance company.
Okay.
Remember, we had talked about it, and we wanted to do some,
Yeah, but my
we
thought
wanted to
is,
do some discussion.
my thought is that if we find out that we can get the roof solid, at least that part of the roof, this grant is not dealing with the parts down here that we have.
I think, I
The
don't know.
rotting,
It's dealing with a lot of the roof. It's more than just.
it's the membrane and some slate stuff, right? But I don't
Yeah,
think
but I
it's
thought it
down
was
on that.
all the little ones, I don't think it was this metal right here.
That's what I'm talking about, those
Which,
corners that are in
again,
bad
that
shape.
needs to be painted up, and you know, underneath.
So, if we know that we can get that, we secured it, we did what you'd have to do. And I think that there probably is an insurance claim for the water damage that's up on
Inside?
inside.
Yeah, and maybe even the first amount of work that we had done to prevent further damage.
That's right, I would think so. I think we should look into that.
You know.
John, one more question. You probably already know, but do we have to contact SHPO about this? The State Historic Preservation? I would imagine that they're gonna check the box, yes, but do we have to? I don't know.
I'm sure that we have a historic architect as opposed to a general architect. I mean, I'm sure that is all on the up and up as far as, you know, BCRC's handling how
I
the
would know, yeah.
bid and contract.
I
needs
think
to
in
be
those
executed.
federal documents, they have to sign off on it.
You,
anyway.
you can't
Usually
read
they do.
anything because
No,
it's
of
so
course
small.
not. Usually really easy.
But just that Goldstone's report that.
Yep.
So it's more than just, you know, membrane slate, I think.
No, he deals with all the detail but he's not dealing, from what I can tell,
Yeah,
with all of
lower.
this. It's where the where the flat roof on the old vault room,
You can read that in some way.
and then the main flat roof, and then the trim around, and then how it's flashed around the chimneys, and then what's behind some significant slate work, I think, is part of and hoping not to find too
That's
much.
gonna be a problem because now our contractors, now our bidders, you're either gonna rely on the latest round of pictures that we have, or they're gonna have to go out and take the temporary cover off to look and see, you know what, so I don't know, it's gonna be interesting.
Yep.
Was there any exploration of what the damage was? Or you just got I was away that week, that you
No,
just
we
got the
just had to
tarps on
get-
it?
We had another big couple rounds of rain coming.
Yeah, I know,
So we need to get that covered, and that, you know, luckily we got the real heavy brown ones. We could probably winter out it, you know, with periodic inspections. You'd say drone, I'd say no, or I'm gonna put a guy up there, walk around, you know, touch a finger on it and say good. As a matter of fact, the person who put it there, but
We would rather.
we could probably weather that out. You know, now if somebody had one that wanted to fly it up once a week and take a look at it, you know what I mean? I think that would be awesome. You know, so we could keep an eye on it, so we can get a problem done soon, you know, but,
Well, at any rate, we need to move on that as fast as, not as fast maybe as this FEMA grant because of its deadline, but the implications of not doing this are more severe. Well, maybe not, but
But maybe.
severe in a different way.
well, I mean, this is a pretty,
Yeah, I mean, you could spend millions real quick here.
Yeah.
pretty fancy building. And, you know, since then, I know John's been here a couple times, we check it after the rainstorm and it's pretty dry, I mean, I think we're pretty safe.
You go up and look in the bathroom up there with it.
Yeah, I go up there. Yeah, I don't climb.
Was there any other damage internally than that, just
No, just that.
that area is where it all kind of went through? So there could be some substructure rot and damage there, I doubt. I mean, the membrane was not gone for very long.
Yeah, I would, if we haven't seen interior water damage, I would be surprised there's a whole lot of,
We have interior water damage.
yeah, but just from that one event.
Just that one
Right.
spot, yes.
So if that's the first time we've seen any signs of interior damage, the chances of there rot being up there, that's telling me that the membrane wasn't off very long, so it takes a little while for rot to set in.
This is true.
So there's, I mean, you never know.
Not that we were up there looking
I
all
would
the
be
time.
surprised if there was significant rot up there, because.
I mean, it was Matt who was up there who noticed it. We're not up there all that.
Sure,
often.
yep.
At any rate, anything else, Norm?
I'm sure, but
That's enough.
Yeah, you're gonna depress me.
I don't have anything from the DRB or fire or water. Oh, just speaking of water, I left a message today with the homeowner. He didn't get back to me. On mechanic, the water, the one where we want to deal with directing the water off of Mechanic Street. Goodrich and I and you.
oh, yeah.
We're wanting to get an easement possibly on this person's land that is part wetland anyway. It's where the water ends up. It just doesn't get there till it does more damage to the road and then it goes back to that area anyway, but,
We need 2 easements.
huh?
We need 2 easements.
Which and which? Oh, that's right, we need one from Lori because we want to do some work off that corner of her property. All this starts with Lori. The water is all on her property. It comes down onto, and then it rides along.
It gets to the other side of the road, we're trying to move it over there quicker, into a patch of woods that we're almost 90%, I don't wanna be like crucified if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure into a patch of woods that's been sold that can never be developed.
It's already an easement property, this is true.
So it's not.
That doesn't change, he's gotta be willing to work with us, or we're gonna have to find another solution, but he had said that he would consider it, we talked to him 2 months ago, whenever that was, and then he never got back to me, so I tried again. We can go knock on his, well, he won't be home, that's the problem, is finding them at home. But it's a really elegant solution if we can get it to happen, because right now the water runs along multiple properties on the upside, north side of Mechanic Street, causing damage and washout along the road. Then finally finds a substandard culvert to cross that was put in. It's barely got a pitch to it, and we really wanna put the right thing in.
Well, that culvert, to be fair, that culvert's got as much pitch as you could get in that spot.
Well, this is true.
It's, you know,
Right.
it's not really substandard for whoever
It's small.
put it in behind us. It's the best option for
Well, it's been there
that-
since Bud
that
was on.
place.
It's been there a long time.
Right.
Water.
The homeowner across did mention there's a lot of water over there as well, though. So I don't.
It's a
know.
wetland.
Right, that, across from Lori.
Well, that's what we're talking about.
Okay. But I thought we were talking about the north side of Mechanic Street.
No, it's north side of Mechanic Street here, south side is in places here, but in other places really kind of not very different. And that's why we had to find this place where it does fall away enough to put the water. That ends up being an extensive network of wetland.
But are we talking about culverts on, or not?
Running water from
ditches?
the
Are we
north,
talking about
no.
ditches on both sides?
No ditches.
No, right on the corner of
Lori's property.
George Street.
Lori Elwell's property and the nursing home, putting a drop inlet right there and running it across the street, because all the water comes from all those fields, that whole, you know, the road, all the houses, comes from everywhere up there, comes down through
Your
and
house.
then comes across the driveway. And that driveway should have had a culvert when it was permitted, but whatever, it didn't, and that's years and years ago. So then it comes down and then it washes the road out, because it picks up speed and then goes. So what we're hoping to do is capture that out of that field, would dry that field up probably a little bit, and send it across the street into that wetland area where it's all going anyways. We're just gonna send it over there quicker.
Okay.
That wetland goes all the way around behind, over to College Road and under College Road and back a few times before it gets to the corner of College and and ultimately goes to the Loomsack. So we really aren't adding any water. We're putting it there just in a better place. But, this gentleman had spoken of maybe putting a pond in or something that he wanted, which might be allowable under his easement. So that's what we have to just discuss, because we haven't had an opportunity to do so. New business? Anything? I know you want to bring it, do you want to bring up the?
Yeah. The, bus shuttle stop
Mhm.
here, I actually should have looked when I came in, but I think.
They have
we
a
were
sign, I
talking
think,
about
right here.
Where the Green Mountain
Mhm.
Express sign is. So he said he was willing to pick up non-college
That's fine.
students if anyone was interested. What were the other, no signage needed, and definitely would be willing to move for voting day, or, I mean, definitely would work around whatever needs for this building would be.
So the proposal is, as you all know, just for the camera, for the college to have a pickup spot as more and more
This
students
is a proposed,
are living up here and
Schedule.
around, and that, how many times a day?
maybe 6 times a day. So this is the proposed schedule.
Okay.
So picking up non-residents to do what with them?
Oh, I had asked a simple
Yeah,
question,
sorry.
is, there are people elderly or people who just don't have cars,
Yep.
who would maybe like to make use of the library or the bookstore.
Okay, so
Or
it'd
the
be
com-
he would
or
have a
The idea
circular
would
route
be-
that came around.
right,
and
for
if
students,
Anywhere
but-
along that, he would pick up and drop off.
Well, he goes here, he goes down
It would be
to,
to the Scary Lane.
To the
Oak
new-
Creek.
Right?
So it's sort of North Bennington College residents.
it's not they're gonna stop and pick people up anyway.
But they would pick up,
If somebody who lives there thought, you know what, I want to go up to college and spend a couple hours at the library, or
Okay.
go to the bookstore.
I'm just
go to
curious
the-
whether
go to
are they going to like Hannaford to the store? Or
No,
is it just
we have
on
that
campus
too.
From down here,
that's not
that's a
this.
separate thing. Okay.
Yeah. That's my.
I don't think it would really be used by more than 1 or 2 people a year, but I just thought,
Yeah,
if it's
why
already
not?
running, why not?
Yeah, it is totally.
And there's a light, there's an activated light here.
Okay.
So
And the time, it doesn't get really late, although the winter it will be.
4:30 and 6:30 will be
Yeah,
dark here.
those will be dark. I mean, it's not super late, but it will be dark.
So people standing there, the light would come on, so that's,
Okay.
and we can make sure that's always operating. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Do we approve it?
Well, I have more discussion, and
Oh,
and
okay.
I know I'm the one that needs to go, but, so my concern was, we had talked early in this year, maybe it was last year, about making sure that we were coordinating with the college about any type of safety concern that they had, or anything that the village could do to improve, the comfort level of students in the
Yes.
village,
Mhm.
feeling safe and secure. And I think this, is another opportunity to say, okay, is the light sufficient? Is it a good place that people feel secure hanging out, waiting for the bus? It could be 10 minutes late or something like that. And if it's dark, I mean, I'm assuming that there is other pickup. I think there is after hour pickup, like on call kind of thing,
Yeah,
right?
on call, right.
And I'm assuming that if somebody wanted to wait here where there's a nice light bench or something like that,
Yeah.
they could
Yeah.
be doing that.
Yeah.
And the other thing that we are currently in the process of, is my understanding, is talking and thinking about installing security cameras. And so,
Told you I had something else.
I think that's a mutual benefit. Obviously, it's not like a 50-50, deal, because, they're a small percentage of the reason that we need the security. But I think, if there's any, gesture of goodwill or something like that, to say, hey, we understand that, the students are the ones that are gonna be waiting there, so we are in favor of that security being there, then.
Basically, see if they want to throw a little money at
So it
it.
sounds
Project.
Well, even on the other hand, the buying the camera is easy, it's the tech part that's hard. And if they have somebody on the tech end that can come in
Right.
and say, here's how you hook this thing up, and
Right.
Well, we've already hired, we've already got an
Hopefully you're
engineer.
gonna solve that problem.
But
And it's
you're
not
right.
a large cost. I mean, we've already gone over this with the guy, and we're not looking at serious, infrastructure
Yeah.
and
It's not gonna be nothing, but the point is what we get for it is some really great security at this building and at the,
What do you wanna talk about?
yes, let's, do you
Okay,
have more you
so,
wanted to?
that's.
And do
what
we
I-
need
No, I'll
to, do
talk
we need
to-
to make a motion for Ken, or are we gonna just?
Well, why don't we listen to this first, because then if that comes back to, maybe
Yeah.
we tie this into it,
So.
okay.
potentially, because we can always go
we'll
back.
take-
So- It's no secret, we've had some pretty good vandalism at our skateboard park. We had luck catching the first ones, we haven't had luck catching the others. We, in a combined effort to help the Lake Perrin, we went up and did a little project there, they're improving their system. Got it in a conversation with the person that did it, said, hey, I got a problem down the street, come help me, so he came down. So here's his proposal. His proposal is for $33,566.87 to install 3 cameras over at the Lions Skate Building. The electronics that need to run those cameras, a wireless bridge that brings the signal back into this building, put the video recorder and all the power things here in this building, and then have a remote access device set up so you can see it. So what that would do is for that price, that would get us on the basic ground floor of getting 3 cameras for security in our building and setting this building up for the addition of just cameras. It's an 8-channel unit, so 3 would be gone, so we could put, we could put 5 over here.
That doesn't include that price though.
That doesn't include those
It includes
cameras.
the 3.
That's right, includes the 3. But
Well, that's where
those,
the vandalism's been, although we have had some events here.
right, but the camera, where's the outdoor network, hardware? survey, the cameras are only $218.
Yeah.
So
Are they night vision cameras?
Yes.
You have like a 1 week override recording, remember, like?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, like 30 days or whatever, it just keeps
Like 1
going.
terabyte or whatever.
Yeah, it would be basically the same setup as they have at Lake Perrin. It's good. You can see they had a problem up there. They ended up catching the people because they could see it. They're gonna plus up their system with a camera up in the parking lot because there's too many people doing donuts and all kinds of stuff up there. So it's basically the same thing. The wireless bridge thing's a great idea because if we have it here, we talked about moving and doing some things some other places and we can do that. So the hub's gonna be in this building, which is pretty much our crown jewel, right?
Likely in here, and we'll keep,
Yeah, in that
lock
room.
that up, yeah.
Yep, that's the plan. So that'll all go for that.
The reason we had to do the bridge is there's no cable or DSL at the skate park.
Right. And instead of putting it in, then everything's gotta be over there. It can be here, this building's warm. The only thing that'll be over there different is a power backup, a small battery backup. So in case we lose power or something, those cameras don't go dead.
And that can be put right in the.
Yeah, it's right with it. It's nothing. It's no bigger than your Scooby-Doo lunchbox you had when you were a kid when we used to.
So are these, so if there's an
Cartridge
8
family.
possibility of 8 cameras going through
Yes.
this, can you have remote cameras? Like, is there a system where, so if we're having an issue somewhere, we can actually bring a camera somewhere, still run it through that and have it there temporarily?
I can't answer that question.
As long as you can plug it in, I think. I think you need a power.
I would just be interested, you know, in case something's happening in the library.
With cell technology, well, the libraries talked to us about that because they'd like to do something and we wanted to put something on the fountain.
Just a question, obviously.
So yes, and that's, the bridge can go from here probably down to there.
Okay.
And-
If it could, that would be a really great solution, but if not, a repeater or something. Now, I don't, we don't need to put 100 cameras around here like
Well, that's
Los
why,
Angeles, but
that's why I was interested in if there's a remote camera and we were having issues somewhere, if we could
Yeah.
take it and put it there
That
for a
makes
week
sense.
to see if we can catch something and then
Oh, yeah.
have one that we can
Like
bounce
down by
around.
the railroad tracks on Overlay
Yeah.
Road, people dump garbage there all the time. Hunting season's coming
That'd
up,
be
there'll be
worth it,
2 or
for a
3
week
deer
to see if we
carcasses
can-
left there. Mary's neighbor there, all kinds of, all kinds of nice people use it and all kinds of unsavory people use it. So,
where's this money coming from? Where's the budget money? for that?
well, to me, I would say parks because it's protecting the park.
Because that's where everything comes from. Because
Exactly.
everything can be
Not
tied to parks.
everything comes from, but speaking with a recent, pretty good landowner, business owner, might be connected to this piece of property here, said if we went to the Lions Club to one of their meetings, they would more than likely sponsor a portion of it.
Because it's the
Because
Lions
that's
Park.
their mission, and it's the Lions Park, and
Well, because they always step up when it.
Yeah, they
yeah, because you're right. So, and he felt very confidently, we could say, it has to be voted on in a meeting, so, if our park department went there and said, hey, this is what we would like to do.
Hey, it's either ask for money or spend the money.
Right.
Which would you rather do?
I don't remember there being a vote that said it was coming out of the park. I just heard.
There doesn't need to be a vote, dude.
That's where it's coming out, of, because it's the park. So, now.
Would you be willing to go talk to the Lions?
Absolutely, yeah.
So now, should a little bit of that be through the depot? Yes, because
Yeah.
we're trying to protect the depot, right? So it'll be a big cost here.
I think in the long run, we might catch somebody dropping nails out there, so I think some of it should come to the highway department, because we probably see some
Probably
tires.
I don't think so.
I think we could probably tie a little bit of
I don't
that.
think so. I don't think highways are part of people dropping nails. That could come out of police side.
Is there an annual cost to this?
No.
Or is it just a one?
No, once it's in, it's in.
The
Well,
only,
then there's a name.
the annual cost is probably just to keep the internet.
Which we have anyway.
Right.
Now, adding to that, into the college revolving around and cars parking and about, buses and people picking up, as far as the highway side, I don't really think that's a big deal. those bus drivers that come, they'll go, it's not like they're leaving, they're there. So if we're here and it happens to be an event where, hey, buddy, move your van, okay, and then move it. Now, if again, an act of kindness to say, hey, if we got some students waiting there, we would like to make sure that they're safe from any hoodlums or vandals, and we'll throw a couple $100 towards your cameras. I think that would be, an awesome gesture.
See how Ken feels about that.
I'll see what, I'll ask Ken.
Some of
Especially for the price we're talking.
some of the big things.
Yeah, if you can give me an idea, I mean, how much,
What did you say,
How much?
3,500, 3,800 to start, and then we gotta add 225 a camera ballpark?
Yes, like 37.
So we're talking
So
right around
3,800
5,000 for the whole shooting match. We're probably talking just under $5,000 to get those three, this setup, and then eventually adding the 5 cameras where needed.
Yeah.
That would count all
Less,
5.
probably less.
You're probably right, yeah, 5,000.
It's like right
so
around
5,000 is for like 5 cameras in the whole
Yeah.
setup.
That's the whole
one of which would
shooting
be
match,
here.
and again, well, there would be 4, there'd probably be 4, there'd be one in each corner of this building.
Oh, okay, got it.
But
5
one of
here.
those would be particularly, of particular
Yeah.
interest maybe to the safety of the, and, and then whatever else in that.
Yep.
We're not asking for the whole nut. And then if they get a go cost share with the Lions and we kick in, we got,
We need
We
ours.
talked to the library, I think.
Parks, right.
Yeah. Well, the parks budget will get hit up.
Hey, Parks Bucks and Goals, they can buy some cameras.
If the cameras are too big.
All right, so do we want to vote conceptual, go ahead and just do this and then find and seek some help from it?
And the lighting is a question too. I mean, if it's increased lighting, is that what you're,
Well, I know
Potentially
that the school has some special lights in different locations. I'm not sure what that signifies, or if, they would,
The college,
I mean, I think it would be helpful too. I don't know if Ken's been over here in the dark to see sort of what.
This place is pretty lit. I mean, there's a huge floodlight out there that shines the sun of the building. We have these 2 lights that accent it, certainly in the wintertime. There's candles in the windows of this building for most of it.
It's still a little
I don't think we
creepy back
really
around
should be
here.
adding lights to this
Right.
place.
I wouldn't add lights, I might change that flood into an LED or
Right.
something, which gives a better, plus if it's gonna be on more, because if people are hanging out more, then it doesn't cost as much to run, and something like that, but maybe
Yeah.
just kind of that corner where people are waiting, so that this bench and everything here, if they wanna sit down, is lit. I wouldn't light the whole thing up.
yeah.
And I don't think we need a call box or anything like that, like the college has at other.
Is that what those are?
We have some call boxes, a few of them on campus. I don't think that's anything we need.
No.
I don't know if do we own any of this anyway?
No,
Just
that's
so
a whole nother
we might
problem,
not
isn't
even
it?
be able to do that.
Yeah. Although we did did that
We
whole
have a lot of cell-
electric
I think
car
that was-
charge system thing fall through?
Before so many people had cell phones too.
Yeah.
They're important.
Pretty
That-
much.
That
Well-
grant we were gonna get?
I just think if we could relay to the college that this, I think that kind of partnership is what we're
Yeah.
looking for, and that
Absolutely.
if it develops into something more, great.
Yeah.
Even, and those type of things, like a call box or something at a village location.
Mhm.
Oh, I
We'd
think
be-
that's definitely
We'd be
something worth
interested in
considering.
discussing those
Okay.
things. Obviously, that's not something we're talking about now, but
Mhm. Okay.
I don't know where people, you've got one at the top of Prospect
Yeah.
essentially, and
I wonder if there's, I don't even know if there's another, there might be one out
think
by
there's-
the tennis. I'm trying to think if there's one out by the tennis courts.
There's one
Like
out
by
that
the-
way, and there's one in, by Jenny, or by the carriage farm in that lot.
Yeah.
is there one at
Yeah.
the Welling?
there is one, that's right.
There isn't one at Welling, I don't think.
Now with
There's a
cell
lot in
phones and.
people's pockets nowadays. It's different.
Right, it is different.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, I remember when I first came, we were talking a lot about them, but that was like, 15 years ago when not everyone had.
Yeah.
So, I'll talk to him.
So I think we're good with this, I don't even really think we need to vote, do we? Should we vote on that?
I don't know
To
if we can
approve.
vote to
Yeah,
use of land that we can endorse it and just say, hey, we think it's a
It's
great
okay.
idea.
yeah,
Then we'll try to support it.
we'll have more
with cameras.
conversation about it and
Yeah, we
figure
can
out
talk
what.
about, yeah.
Now, as far as the camera system themselves, I think we need a motion to spend that money and then argue about where it's coming from later.
Can I, what was the amount again?
356687.
So I'd like to make a motion to let Norm proceed with spending $3,566.87 or less, should you find other avenues of funding in order to put in security cameras with a base here and starting at Lions Park that we can expand later to include the depot and perhaps a library or fountain.
Do we have a second?
I second it.
Discussion?
I think this,
I
not
hear.
that it's too contentious or anything, but I think this would be a great opportunity for a citizen comment, but, you know, so if anybody out there is interested in attending meetings for these type of issues, we'd love to hear public comment, but I'm in favor of this, so that's all the comment I have.
Are your concerns privacy?
Well, I think that's a concern that a lot of people have. When you start-
I certainly do when
the
they're
town starts
point,
putting cameras up.
but I feel like these cameras are looking in. They're
Yeah, I
looking
know.
in our structures that are being vandalized, so it's not, I don't like ones looking out all over the highways and tops of people's roofs and, you know, but.
Question, who would be monitoring these? And is it
Nobody.
recorded?
It's recorded.
It's recorded and kept for 30 days, you say? It's on a 30-day?
Yeah,
So we would only go back and review
Okay,
if we saw something.
When you said something about it being remote, people aren't sitting, there's no one sitting there with their cell phone watching
Me.
people roam around the park?
He can anytime you want.
Okay,
Hey, there's a problem with the park, I can go click
Okay.
and look at the camera. and
but
say,
is it
okay.
real time or are you looking at what was
Real time.
recorded?
You can, or what's recorded, like,
Or.
he can go back, whatever it is, a month, a terabyte, whatever. it is.
Real time will not be that useful.
It'll keep overriding it so that if we get vandalism at the park, he sits down with the police, they find them when it happened and go, that's the people, and then they give the tape to the police.
Just like the old parent
That
did
was
when
what
they.
I was understanding, I wasn't envisioning that
It
if
could be either,
if
but
someone chose to, they could sit there and watch what was happening. Okay.
Yeah, the only, it's a private closed network, you know, certainly if the board feels that they'd like to have that password, then sure we will give that to them. But yeah, it's not, that people are gonna be sitting home looking at what's going on. That's how the system works.
So we had discussion, but we need to have a vote. We had a second. All those in favor of spending the money for that?
Aye,
Aye.
that sounds like sort of a half seat.
Other new business or old business?
I just got a quick hold. This is just, we've already started paying for the fuel, but these are just the contracts I had to go sign at the end of last month, so it's after the last meeting, for Kelly Fuel. So it's for the 3 different buildings. So I just wanted to go from Lori,
Okay.
so we match up with.
What are we paying?
909.
What's that?
How much are we paying?
Like $2. Is it $2.09 or something like that?
No, it's, yeah.
$2.09.
2.09.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
considering-
locked.
Yeah, that's gonna be a worry, that's what, and we're budget pay on it, so it's.
That's great.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
it's,
that's,
especially considering what's going on right now.
yep.
I had an old, were you done with yours?
Yeah, that was it, I just wanted to.
I had an old business to talk about the ordinances, but I actually would be happy if we wanted to move that to the meeting that we're gonna continue, if that's okay with everybody.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'll.
So put that on a continuance agenda, or you'll have it. You'll remember to bring that up.
Let's hope so.
I just thank you, Mark, for the soccer nets. My kids have already gone down to play and enjoy them and said they're like real soccer nets.
Yeah, and I think we do have, I've got 2 groups that are, I think one's gonna use it tomorrow.
They were thrilled. They were
Good
So
so
job.
it's
excited.
a
Thank you.
group that is a southern Vermont. So
Oh,
it'll be
nice.
kids from Rutland coming down that play with kids from
Fantastic.
Bennington, so
Great.
Wilmington, so hopefully that'll be
That's great.
a couple days a week, and
Good
then
work, man.
the middle school
Fantastic.
coaches wanna use it too, so.
Money well spent. even if we have to pay to move?
Yeah, it's not complete yet. Yeah, it's not complete yet, so I have to talk to, we need to do some land adjustment to get a full-size field in there, but it would be minor and it wouldn't impact anything else. I just gotta look into what it would cost and see if it's worth doing, but if I'm paying for everything else, I don't know.
Yeah.
What I'm the budget.
You're buying for a bigger budget next year, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, you do good things like that and the budget grows.
Yeah, if you build it, right? But no, thank you. It's-
Yeah, no,
That's
thank
great.
you, it's great.
Did they take your lawn mowing out of your budget?
What's that?
I don't think so.
It was never there. We can put it in there, but you know where that money comes from. It's out of your budget where it was.
Will you entertain a motion to adjourn?
Yeah, we need
No,
to,
no,
Or
no,
to
we're not,
continue the meeting.
to continue, motion to continue?
I'll make a motion, and let's talk about a time. Do you want to do 4 o'clock, 2 weeks from today? Does that work for everybody?
Most likely.
And we want to meet here?
Yeah.
Okay, so if it works for everybody, I'll make a motion to continue this meeting until Tuesday, 9/26 at 4 o'clock here. At which point in time, we may actually adjourn up to the highway department, because Norm wants to show us something.
Uh-huh. Although I think if anybody has a chance to stop over there before then, he'd be happy
No, we need to
to.
step over for that, because I don't think I'm
Yeah.
going to make that.
Okay.
But you've also,
Oh, you won't make that meeting, right?
Tuesday,
Would
September
it also be
26th,
useful-
4 PM.
26 at work.
you said next week they're dropping off a piece of equipment?
Hopefully, yes.
So would it be best
Yeah,
to
as soon as I,
stop up when that piece is there to talk about both things?
Yep.
Or does it matter?
no, I'll stop up early. And I'll
So-
email you when,
This week would be better?
Yes.
Okay.
yep.
Come on.
Okay.
Tomorrow will be real good, because I'll be in the garage.
Yeah, it'll work.
I'm going.
And you'll have information for us to talk about.
All right, everything okay though, you
Yes.
think?
Seems it.
Okay,
Okay.
but you know, you don't have any cell
Enough to put you
service
in a
down
bed.
there.
Right.
Does she have, she knows the phone and everything?
All right.
Usually you can send a
9:20,
text.
When's Kate?
9:26 at 4 o'clock.
All right, great.
Did we vote?
I think,
You
well,
got a little
actually,
food on your shirt.
I made the motion, but did we second and pass?
Did we finish that motion?
The continuance?
Is this camera still on?
Yeah,
Second?
motion to continue
I
to the
made that motion.
26th. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.